Hello, and welcome back to Squatober Day 3. It's Day 3! Now, yesterday had us in pain. I'm actually ready for this weekend, which is coincidentally tomorrow. We get the weekends off with Squatober, which is good. Myself, I'm ready because I want to rest. I actually overslept coming to the gym today. I edited a video and then took a nap, and dude, holy shit. Yeah, I slept pretty good. Let's check what we have on today's Squatober.
For those of you who don't know what Squatober is a month-long program that tells you how you should work out every day of October, and at the end of the month, you go for a PR squat. Now, if you have small legs or been called chicken legs at least once in your life, I recommend checking out Sore Neck Squatober on Instagram and giving their program a shot. Now, back to the video.
So for today's Squatober, it is Polo Strong. It has us starting out with back squat and clusters, which is 5 reps at 65, rest 30 seconds, 5 reps at 65, rest 30 seconds, 5 reps at 65, rest 2.5 minutes. And then we've got to do that another time. We've got to do that a second time. Shit! Right? So anyway, then the second set we have bench press and clusters as well. 2 reps at 82, rest 20 seconds, 2 reps at 82, rest 20 seconds, 2 reps at 82. Rest 2.5 minutes, and then we got to do that again a second time. Now the third thing is kind of interesting. It's got us called Pumped in the Polo. Essentially what it is just supersetting, but they got you with a cable or band tricep pushdowns for 6 by 20 reps. And then you got to superset that with barbell bicep curls, 6 to 20 reps. Now here's my opinion. That is a shitload of volume. Coming from a bodybuilding perspective, I think that's a shitload of volume. That sounds like fucking CrossFit, and I hate CrossFit. Anyway, my problem with that is it's hard enough being, like a big old natty guy or whatever, but like when there's shit like that, dude, that's just like calling out the steroid freaks. I mean, you can't convince me otherwise. You can't. 6 sets of 20 reps and then supersetting that? Are you mad? You might be. Anyway, yeah, that sucks. That sucks. All right, in shark fashion, we got the TNT shark flavored. Whoa. I think they put real sharks in that one. Fuck. Anyway, I'll see you at the squat rack. We're now here at the squat rack. We're doing 67% of our max, our training max. My training max is around 315. So 67% of that was around like 210, 211, I believe. So we can't go up in increments of 5 because we don't have 2.5s. So what we have right here is 215. Shouldn't be that big of a deal, but what is going to be a big deal is how many reps and sets we have to do out of this. This is about to suck. I guess let's go ahead and hit this for our first set of 6 reps. Now keep in mind that we're supposed to be doing this 3 times because it's a cluster. We need to take like 30-second breaks, and then we have to go straight back into it after like 2 minutes. It's about to suck. So let's get into our first cluster, shall we? All right, here's set number 1 done. It's been about 30 seconds. Now we have to hit another set. All right, and now we get like a 2-minute break. It's been about 2.5 minutes, I believe. Now we have to go straight back into the 3rd set of this cluster. Now we get a break for our second cluster. We've had a little bit of a break. Now it's time to get into our second set of clusters. This shit kind of sucks. When I keep it 100% with you, this shit kind of blows. But I don't know, whatever. All right, now we get a quick 30-second break, and then we have to hop back into it. All right, I believe it's been about 30 seconds, so I reckon we should do another set in this cluster. Damn it. All right. Now we get a 2-minute break. It's been about 2 minutes, I think maybe a minute and a half, but I guess it's time to hit our last set, the cluster. So we have some bad news, maybe good news for you, but bad news for me. The last set did not record. It ran out of storage. So that sucks. Now, the normal thing to do is just to be ignore it and all that, but and then you're gonna think that I skipped it and it's gonna be this whole thing, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and do another 5 reps. Damn it. You know, I wonder how long it takes for you to realize that you have dyslexia. I mean, I had this buddy that I guess he knew he had dyslexia. I don't really know, but the story is that, you know, he'd ride around with somebody and like, you know, in a car, and if they were like coming up too fast on a stop sign, he'd be like, pots, 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 you know, because stop backwards, pots. I don't know, I just think it's a crazy thing. Also, like, they really messed with these dyslexia people. Can you imagine having dyslexia and trying to spell dyslexia? Crazy. I wonder how that guy's doing now. He went into the army. He's a good guy. I will see you at the bench press. Now we're here at our bench press session. This is also a cluster. Now we're supposed to be at 82% of your max, which is, you know, obviously your training max. They said that you could do it at your own discretion, but I think going by your training max is smart because you're not maxing every day. You're not doing that. Or at least I hope you're not, because that would be bad. Anyway, my max is 315, which brings my training max to like, I don't remember. All right, it was like around like 300, I think. So 82% of whatever that was like 237, 238, which would be 240. We can't go in increments of 5 because we don't have 2.5s. So what we're doing is 245. It's not a crazy jump up or anything, but I mean, yeah. So we're supposed to be doing this for 2 reps, rest for like 20 seconds, 2 reps, like do a small rest and then another 2 reps. So anyway, that's where we are. I guess we should go ahead and get into the set, shall we? All right, quick 20-second rest. All right, now time for our second set of the first cluster. Nice. All right, now time for our third set of this cluster. Nice. I'll see you at the second cluster. All right, now we're back for our second cluster. First one wasn't too bad, but you know, the second one could be challenging. I don't know how much energy I used there on the first cluster. It didn't feel like a lot, but the problem with doing a program like this, it's more like a powerlifting program, all right? We all know that. You know, when you do a bunch of compound movements, aka like squat, bench, deadlift, consecutively after another, you use so much energy doing those things. That's like why, you know, the way you train for powerlifting is, you know, you have an SBD day, which is squat, bench, deadlift. Anyway, that's how powerlifting works. So we just squat. You know, so obviously we're here at bench now. You know, last time we We actually started with deadlift, I think, last time, and then had to go straight into squats. Anyway, so let's go ahead and start this second cluster, shall we? Now, quick 20-second break. Yep. Now time for our second set. And now we get a long break. Now it's time for our third set of the cluster. Crank it out, shall we? And that, my friend, wraps up our bench session. I guess I'll see you over at the tricep pushdowns and barbell bicep curls. I'm gonna go and do barbell bicep curls and tricep pushdowns with the cable. I don't know how I feel about the whole 6 sets of 20. That feels crazy. So I'm gonna have to play around and see what weight I'm comfortable doing. But I guess I'll see you over there. Now we're at our little superset bullshit. We actually have to do 20 reps for each 6 sets of this fucking superset. It's gonna suck. Now, I had to play around with a weight that I thought that I could hit all those crazy reps with. It's 120 reps, 240 in total, obviously. That's a lot. That is a lot, dude. I don't like, steroids or not, that's a shitload of reps. That's the way I see it, but whatever. Anyway, so what we have right here on the push down is 57.5, and then here on the ground we have, I think this is 35. I had to try and play around with the weight. Now you're probably saying to yourself, Shark, that's not a lot of weight. Come on, man. We're doing 120 reps of each. That's a lot. You can't convince me otherwise. That's not a lot of reps. So anyway, I guess we should go ahead and get into the set. Now we do have a predicament here. This bar is squeaking uncontrollably loud. If I had my mic on right there, you would just be bleeding from your ears, and I don't want that to happen to you. I care about you. Anyway, I guess let's go ahead and get into our first superset. This is so dumb, by the way. If I get injured today, dude, I'm gonna DM Sore next, dude. I'm gonna say thank you. What do you think I was gonna say? Jeez. Go ahead and get into this set, shall we? Within that first superset, I'm already realizing something. I'm gonna have to go down in weight. This is about to fucking suck, dude. Doing this right here, just like the tricep pushdowns, it's not heavy, but the point is, the problem is you're doing 20 fucking reps of that. That's a lot of reps, dude. I don't know if any of you are science-based lifters, but science-based lifters, they'll tell you, dude, and they're like, yeah, don't do that. You know what I mean? Just don't do that. I think the optimal range for muscle growth, maximum hypertrophy or whatever, I think it's 4 to 8 reps. Obviously, if you can extend to 8 to 10, 8 to 12, it's not that bad, right? This shit sucks. I think for my muscle sake and for the rest of Squatober and my lifting career, I'm gonna change that weight. Fuck. I think if we go down to 42.5, that'll probably be fine. And you're about to say, Shark, you weakling. But I'm about to go down and weight and barbell too. 35 is not a lot. I'm not saying it's a lot because I can do more than that. So anyway, yeah, I'm gonna go down in weight here. I think this is gonna sound really pathetic, but I think that 25 is calling my name. We're gonna have to do this, dude, for another 5 sets. So I just think it's only right that we fix this before, again, I get injured and if I'd tear a bicep, dude. Whoa, hey, knock on wood right now. Anyway, let me go grab some lighter weight, shall I? Let's go ahead and get into our second superset, because we have a lot more to do. Nice. And that was another 20 of each.
Fuck.
Now time for our third set of this 6-set superset. 6 sets. I know, it still sounds crazy. I was crazy once. And there goes our third set. Out of 6 sets. Damn it. Guess I'll see you in a minute. Now it is time for our 4th set out of 6. I guess I'll see you at the 5th set of 6. Wow. Now time for set 5. Done. I will see you at number 6. Now it's time for the 6th and final fucking set of this shit. Ow. Maybe I could have stayed with 35 pounds for 20 reps, but it's just the whole thing is like, you know, you go up in 10 pounds, you know, and you do 20 reps of that shit. It's a lot. I mean, my arms are pretty fried. I guess we'll see in like the pose down. I think let's go ahead and close that shit out. That now marks the end of that superset shit. I may, alright, and hear me out, may do a tiny bit of shoulders. And the only reason I say that is because doing all that squatting and all that deadlifting shit, that's great, alright? Coming from a bodybuilder's point of view, that may not be enough for my desire for muscle growth, muscle building. Of course, that superset shit is gonna build muscle, all right? We all know it. It's just gonna not be as, I guess the word's ideal as, you know, free weight stuff. So anyway, I guess I'll catch you probably at the pose downs. I'll see you then. Well, that was a Squatober. And now we get the weekend off, which is good. So I could use the rest. My hamstrings, yeah, they really hurt. You know, my knees aren't doing too bad, you know, knock on wood if you got it, you know, kind of thing. But not a terrible week. You know, I mean, it could have been worse, I guess. I did do a tiny bit of shoulders, just to give myself that like bodybuilding like stimulus, I guess we'll call it. I guess let's go ahead and get a little quick pose down, you know, just to properly document every single day. Now, with the pump cover off, we can see the superset definitely has my muscles pumped up. Now, checking the legs out, not a crazy amount of pump to them, but to be fair, the only thing that we did for them was squats, and we did that at the very beginning of the lift. I suppose let's go ahead and get a few poses just to, you know, satisfy those cravings that we all desire, which is the pump. All right, well, with that said, that marks the end of day 3 of Squatober. Now, if you're following along, I hope it's going swimmingly for you. I've had my tiny complications with it, but not too bad. Once again, we get the weekend off, so that's pretty cool. Appreciate you very much for being here. If you haven't yet, go ahead and check out my Instagram and TikTok. I have TikTok now, crazy. If I don't see you, I want to wish you a good morning, good afternoon, and good night. I want to wish you all a great weekend, and I guess I'll see you for Squatober day 4. Well, technically, you know, there's the weekend. All right, there's the weekend. So I like to consider that day 4 because that's when we're gonna be working out. So yeah, I guess I'll be seeing you. Guess I'll see you around. Guess I'll see you around. Bye.